What you doing? Fast asleep and dreaming, walking in the park, or chasing other dogs, wrapped in the love of mama. Hey little bully, I see you worried, eyes are open, not sleeping, making lots of noise, and chewing up your toys. All this drama, you're missing mama. She sweeps up all the pieces of a shattered life, the pain unleashes, with her dreams now coming true. There's a better life for her and her puppies too. So close your eyes and count the sheep. Chase him till you fall asleep. We know you miss mom. She misses you. She'll be back and you'll be together soon. So bright, looks at grams, everything alright. Sure been fun, feel so safe, but our mama, she doing okay. Hey little bully, big dog sigh, looks at grandma, wonders why. Mama's still not here, don't feel right. Is she coming home tonight? Meanwhile, she sweeps up all the pieces of a shattered life, the pain unleashes, with her dreams now coming true. There's a better life for her and her puppies too. So close your eyes and count sheep. Chase him till you fall asleep. We know you miss mom, and she misses you. She'll be back, and you'll be together soon. When she's back, she'll have a pity party too. It's where songwriting takes you. That one's for my daughter. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's great to have you all back for part 2 of Songwriters Bootcamp. I'm Tom Lamog. I'm a volunteer instructor with Guitarists for Vet Cyber Chapter and with CavArts, the Challenge America Veteran Arts community, hosting our first session focusing on the elements of music. Yeah, all right, of music for songwriting. So thanks again for joining me for this last Saturday in May. The next hour and a half, we've got a couple of really wonderful veteran singer-songwriters who've been on the program before, both Matthew Jones, who served in the U.S. Army, and U.S. Marine Corps veteran Derek Thompson. They're both here for the next hour and a half. We're going to talk through chapters 3, primarily 3, maybe touch on 4 and 5, from Andrea Stolpe's Becoming a Songwriter course guide. And no doubt they'll be sharing some of their knowledge, experience, and even have their own questions about music and songwriting. In the very end, we're hoping that everyone here who's attending today, you, the aspiring songwriter, like myself, will get you closer to writing that next song. But before we do that, as we always have done in the past, I want to bring back our friend Ken Busby. But hey, it's good to see you. How was your little hiatus? A couple weeks off from lyric writing. How's it going?
It's been crazy. We went Memorial Day weekend down to Pensacola with Freedom Sings USA, and I did a songwriting retreat down there. I got to start on a song. I won't say it's finished. It's getting close.
That's fantastic. Wow. Yeah. Did you ever think you would do that after being introduced to songwriting?
I didn't think it would be as easy as what it was down there this weekend. I talked to a buddy that I went to Iraq with, and we had this conversation Wednesday night before, and it just some of the things he said just stuck with me. And when I got down there, and it being Memorial Day and all of that, it all kind of bubbled up and came out in a song.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And then I ended up with an ear infection, and so I'm just now getting over that. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Did you get the medicine that goes with it? I remember giving that to my daughter.
So I've been dropping the drops, and today's the first day that it hadn't been hurting and throbbing. So,
well, I'm so glad you were able to join us today.
Me too.
For sure. So, I know we're focusing primarily on the elements of music. All right, so
yes.
We'll put the lyrics aside for right now. Keep it in the back pocket. But is there something in particular that you're looking forward to in this series?
Everything. I don't know anything about music.
Yeah, okay.
The lyrics side I've got, but the music side, I've got my chord wheel book, and that's what I go with, and I'll usually start in G and go 1, 2, 3, and try and pick through what I think it needs to be, and I'll sing it, and then I'll use one of the AI apps that'll tell me what chords I'm singing, and try and go with that. Multiple tools that I can find, because I don't know music, and it's a real struggle for me, and trying to do it on my own. But
you represent a number of people who are songwriters. They are like they're not really sure what to do musically, and we're going to address that this hour. Yeah. So, well, you know what? And for those who are just joining us for the first time, Ken actually co-hosted our primer series, the first 5 episodes that you'll find on the G4V Learning Center tied to songwriting. Ken actually led the way, led the conversations to help us explore songwriting, and now we're doing a deeper dive, and I've asked Ken if he could just kind of help represent those in the learning phase of the songwriting journey to speak up in the event you're kind of shy.
I helped Paul Lilly really well in that. I won't say that I led at any point.
But I watched the videos. We agree. You just did great with what you knew, and now to have you join us to help us with the learner's perspective, to keep us focused on that, is very, very much appreciated. So, okay, so we're going to see you. We'll see you later. We'll see you. Yeah, just keep checking in with us. All right. So let's see here. Where are we at here? I would like to introduce or reintroduce, if you've met these gentlemen before. These are men who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. One of them is a songwriter who who served in the Army and had an incredible story about, his time there and, spending a little bit of time in Alaska. Now he's touring. Well, not touring. Well, maybe touring. I would say touring because I don't get out that much and perform. But Matthew Jones is someone who's actually been not only performing within his home state of Nebraska, but he's also made his rounds across the country to a couple of different places that I'm aware of, and they're not in Nebraska. So I guess we can call him a touring artist.
Yeah,
don't laugh about that.
Very loosely, very loosely.
But you're out there playing a lot now. I mean, I'm seeing that
trying to.
Playing. Yeah. So that's kind of like, I mean, when I think of tour, it's kind of like, well, you're not at home. So you're out there playing.
Yeah, definitely. Anything outside of the basement, it's you're on tour. I don't have the bus, but
yeah. Well, there's a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people are aspiring to get that bus or plane or something. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Working on some new projects. Trying some different things, musically. So yeah, I'm just excited about all of this, and getting to be a part of it. So every single time that you send me a message, go, hey, how would you feel? Yes. Just don't finish your sentence. Just yes. Send me the info.
Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I know that even going through the songwriting exercise myself, it's kind of like learning something new. There's always something to learn. Does anyone ever really know everything about songwriting? I could probably ask any songwriter.
I think Derek's probably the one to talk to about that one. Yeah.
Well, I'll ask him in just a moment here about that. I could probably bring him up here, and he'll probably throw something at us both.
Oh yeah.
I would never.
never.
Oh man!
All right. Well, Matt, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Derek, it's good to see you as well too. How are things in your world? Mister, I just released a new song, and how's things with that? I should initially ask because
it's pretty great. It was super cool to get Lighthouse out, and this will be fun to get to talk to everybody about. Just because I ended up spending a lot more time focusing on the music itself as opposed to just the lyrics. Than I initially planned, and it was a very fun experience learning all the ins and outs that goes into actually, putting mood and tone and that groove into the music itself, and trying to pick up the little intricate things that you didn't think you would initially.
Now, when we think about songwriting, now, I remember when we had you on Song Sung True, we opened the show with just an acoustic performance of Lighthouse, which is the song that you have released, this time with some help, right? A lot of help and a lot of excitement, and for good reason, because that has grown, it's matured into a song that is really, now you can play this with a band. You can get out there. Here's what it sounds like with a band if you wanted to, versus just doing it acoustically.
Yeah, it was super cool. Ended up with like a Guns N' Roses kind of drum beat to it. I wasn't expecting it.
Was there screaming? I think there was. I think I heard the vocals behind the screaming.
Yeah, we did some. We wanted to kind of give it a chorus, like a choir kind of feel behind the background. And it changed about 14 times. Like at one point,
was that all?
It was like
but who's counting? 14?
It was like a 76-person choir at one point, is what it sounded like in the background. And you're just like, oh my god! Yeah. And I was like, you can do that with 3 people? And we were like, yeah. Turns out, yeah, absolutely.
And here's the cool thing about it, and Derek has demonstrated this: is it's his song, it's his story. However he wants to tell it, with just an acoustic guitar, with background singers. This is the fun part of taking, all right, I've got this idea, and now I can take it to whoever I want to color it up, to build it up into something that he envisions. And every one of us has that opportunity once we get into the songwriting process. So, and you've demonstrated that from the first recording that I've seen to what you've got now. So anyway, gents, we got a lot to cover here. And but let me just go ahead and get some of the housekeeping out of the way. The objective of Part 2 series today, the music elements, is to review the sections within the course guide We've got some discussions that we're going to draw out the experiences from both Matt and Derek, and from everyone who's participating as well too. So we definitely want you to insert yourselves into the conversation when you can. We're going to run through some exercises. We've got some demonstrations that we're going to try and build your confidence in becoming a songwriter. Today we're going to be reviewing the highlights of chapters 11 through 13. And we're going to talk through the different ways to approach music elements and including them into the lyrics that you may have already created. We're also going to explore a whole bunch of different things, like what if I don't have lyrics? What if I've got like a rhythm or a melody or something? We're going to hopefully talk a little bit about that. So use the chat feature if you're able to. If you got questions, go ahead and do that. You can always unmute and stop the conversation, and we'll take a listen to what it is that you have, and we'll see if we can kind of brainstorm through some answers. Anyway, so that's that. Let's go ahead and pick up where we left off, and that is with lyric writing. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of remind everyone who's participating today. We talked about keeping true to your own self, the elemental artistry, such as, okay, you've got your influences, don't push them away, embrace them. For me, the song that I played for you all at the beginning, Paul Simon, Simon and Garfunkel, James Taylor, to me, these are the artists that I was pulling from to pull that song together, give it a real acoustic lullaby feel, which is the type of stuff that I know Paul Simon and James Taylor, Cat Stevens, that artists like that drew me to. Writing What You Know, the song was about my daughter, and what the effects of a divorce can do, and the spillover of emotion that affects her dogs. And I really saw that up front, and if you are a dog lover, you understand that. Trying to pair up the music with the lyrics. We're going to talk more about that. The prosody is what Andrea Stolpe is referring to, and we're going to talk to Matt and Derek about, maybe they've got some tips about that. Try just a whole lot of different things that if you've missed in the first 10 chapters, I highly recommend you checking out the videos that we recorded. The Vantage Point, Lyrical Lens, the importance of a title, point of view. These are all tools that are worth considering putting into your toolkit. Now, here's my question. I'm going to open this up to everyone. Let me just remove this spotlight from everyone here, and I'm going to open this up to the entire group, because my question to you would be, is there anyone at the point where they've created lyrics? Is there anyone who's created lyrics as a result of the workshops and going through Andrea's book? So Ken, why don't you go ahead and maybe you can share a little bit about what you found to be the most challenging and maybe the most useful in creating those lyrics.
Keeping the melody in my head, because I can't play it, so you got this melody in your head and you're trying to write these words down, and so it's a lot for me because I got ADHD and I can't focus on anything too good. So it's a crapshoot sometimes, trying to do both at one time, and you're focusing, and so that makes it really difficult for me. But I started using some of the tools, like I'd hum or whatever I could, the melody I had, and I'd put it in a looper and I'd just run it back. And so I'd have that playing in the background, and that would help me with lyrics. So there's things like that, because I can't, do multiple things at one time because I'm just too space cadet.
It's a good tool. It's a good practice, to write it down. Definitely. Got to write it down, and I got like 3 notepads here. Matt, I would imagine you're the same way, and it's like making sure to record it down. Whether it's there, and there's Derek as well. It's and the audio itself. You're saying humming. Are you using your phone or?
So my phone, I've got an app that's got a looper in it. So I'll just hum a part, and then I can hit that. Set up the looper, and it'll just play that part back over and over and over and over and over. So if I'm working on a certain verse, I can hum the melody that I have in my head for that verse and put it in that looper, and then I can go through and it just plays it. So then I have it, and I try and do words to that as it's going through. It helps me keep it in my head. Yes,
because you're on multiple songs. Matt, you went to go grab something. Was that something, some lyrics or something, or your notepad?
It's probably an involuntary spasm. No,
there's a song in that. Keep that. We're recording this, by the way, so we'll give you a copy so you can put that one into a song.
No, I had a book there. I had a book there. I got sheet music all over the place with notes and scratches on it. Like, okay, well, I can't sing it there. Let me change it to this, and then I have to change all the chords. So I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Ken, thank you, by the way, for sharing that. Is there anyone else here who just unmute, go ahead and share what your experience is. If you found certain things to be challenging that maybe we didn't answer in the lyric writing process that you think maybe we should address, or maybe something that you took away as, wow, this was really helpful. This is life-changing. This is something that affected my songwriting in a way that I can actually do more. Who's next? Yeah. John, go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't changed my lyrics any on the song that I've been writing of Watching Her. They're the same, but I've changed the music like 20 times.
Interesting.
I keep going through it, and now I've got the capo on the second fret. I've slowed it down to 60 beats a minute. Finger strumming. I mean, I'm trying everything. And earlier this morning, I was listening to a CCR song, and I kind of went to a D suspended 4 to start it out with, and then a 4-finger G to a 4-finger C, which I'm trying to remember, C major 7, I believe that is. Might be wrong on that, but so
you're changing chords, which is a technique for sure. It's kind of like you're trying to find the right chords. Obviously, you've changed the chords so many times. You're still searching for the right combination, right emotional response.
Close as I've gotten so far to what I like. And it just never passes the sting test every time I record. Of course, I don't have a singing voice, so that I try to ignore that part. But
okay, well, that's fair. Because a lot of songwriters are writing songs for other people as well. Maybe they're not a singer-songwriter, they're just a songwriter, or that's what their passion is. So I commend you for that. You're actually improvising, you're experimenting, and you have to do that. And I'll tell you, Derek, what are you doing over there? Are you like rocking out there? Talk to us about that process when something that you've written doesn't quite feel right to you. What are some of the things that you typically do?
Oh, I was just trying to warm my fingers up a little bit, but yeah, no, there's a whole lot of, especially like last night I started playing because I didn't have like a full theory of what I wanted to do yet, but I thought I'd at least start breaking into something, and I've kind of talked to you guys about that before, where I have like OCD, so I have to get something down. So I just screwed with like 8 billion chord progressions, and I just kind of go through it until I can find the mood that I'm looking for. For me, when it comes to the music, if I've already written lyrics, I know exactly what I want that mood to be. So it's just a process of, okay, so between the rhythm and the chords, how can I portray this mood that I'm looking for? And 98% of the time, it's, sad, because, that's just what I do. It's sad music. So, you end up in the minors, and you end up in this slow field, and then it also ends up where I have to go, okay, we can't just write a song that makes everyone want to hang themselves also. So let's try to brighten it up a little bit. So I just end up playing with it for, a couple hours where it's just me sitting there going through chord progressions. And that's what I was doing last night.
That's what it takes. I mean, it sounds to me like just like what John was describing. I'm just running through a whole bunch of different chord combinations, or maybe even strumming patterns, just to get a sense of, does this fit with what I'm trying to emote?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the time what I have to do is it's easier to do a quick strum through, just being like, okay, well, what do I want it to sound like? Do I want it to be light and happy, or do I want it to be sad? So it'll just be like, well, what if I try this? like, okay, what mood does that evoke in my mind? And then I'm like, all right, well, that didn't work. So then I'll just. And just go through that in a series and just be like, okay, so just based off those 3 or 4 chords, what mood does that give me? And when I wrote the song, what was I looking for?
Yeah. It largely experimental, right? It's just
Absolutely.
Basically. So now, anyone else want to volunteer their experience as to what they found the lyric writing process to be challenging, or maybe you are inspired by something? It's like now it's a part of your songwriting process. Anyone else? Okay, that sounds good. Man, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to ask you this question. Maybe this will address kind of Ken's question, which is kind of like he's still learning the musical process. Do you remember that time when you were like, you know what, I'm just not sure what I'm doing with music? And
absolutely. Every day.
Every day. Yeah, that's my line. All right, but that's good to know we're in good company. But maybe you could talk a little bit about what your scenario was and what it was that moved you towards, learning music or learning to integrate music.
Well, so the way I learned how to play, initially I started playing just out of high school, but I was a bass guitarist in a country band, which is no way to live your life. But I decided that, I want to try to do something else. I want to be able to create something more than just, thump on a bass guitar. So I started watching them play their 6 strings and their 12 strings, and I started watching them move about the fretboard, and that really intrigued me. So I learned how to play by watching other people play. And then after I figured out what was what, I had to kind of, where do I go now? So if I really like a G chord, well, where can I go from G? So I try to break things down. You have, like Kim was saying, like the 1, 3, 4, minor 5, A through G. If you're starting at G, that's your 1. Well, then D's going to be your 3, and then, C's going to be your 3, D's going to be your 4, and then E minor would be your 4th. So I try to use the kind of chord families as much as I can, but just like Derek was saying, there's a certain sound that you're looking for too, with that feeling. So, for example, like Derek said, those A minors give you a really sad sound. To me, an A minor is a sad sound, but it also feels unfinished, where an A major, nice and clean, nice and finished, and an A minor just kind of sounds like it's just waiting to be that A. So if you're feeling like you want your song to have a kind of sadder sound, the minors are definitely where you want to play with. But I get stuck in the sad sounds. I write a lot of sad songs too, and I don't know why. It's easier. But initially it was a struggle for me. I didn't know where to go with the things that I had learned to play. So how do I take what I know and create something that's me? And it just took a lot of kind of, beating your head against the computer, so to speak, and trying to figure out,
it's
G, D, and C,
Truly growing pains, isn't it?
It is. I mean, and you learn something and you feel like you leveled up, And so I finally felt like I leveled up after 20 years of playing. Okay, so it's a process.
Yeah. Hey, so let me see. Can you all see this? This is the chord families. I don't know if you're able to see this. Hopefully you are. But basically, this is this first column, which is got labeled Roman numeral 1. I mean, this is like if you want to talk about what are the chords within the chord family within C. This, the key of C. You can play any of these chords, and it'll complement what it is that root note C major. This is typically what you'll find in a song. Just these chords, and usually these chords. You can definitely go outside of these chords, and the same with D. Here's D, right? So you got D, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, B minor, C sharp diminished. But these chord families, and we'll dig a little bit deeper on this. This is one of the tools that songwriters have in their vocabulary, in their toolkit, is to know, okay, if I'm going to play in the key of E, then I know that I could play A major and a B major. I know that. How do I know? Because that's part of the chord family structure. So if you don't have a copy of the chord family chart, I'll definitely post it on the Guitar Player's Toolkit. I think it's there too. If you go to the G4V Learning Center.
I do know. I mean, I don't know if everyone's tracking, but a lot of the most popular pop songs that are out there streaming on radio today, they're 4-chord songs, and they're the same chords. The difference, and the reason they sound so different, is they change the groove or the feel of those 4 chords. So whatever groove or feeling you're in, you can manipulate that and make that happen right on your fretboard, just chopping away, kind of just however you feel. So, yeah.
Really good. All right. So let's see here. Is it you gravitated to guitar? Is being a guitar player? Is it required to become a songwriter? Is it guitar the de facto standard? What are your thoughts on that one? Anyone?
I would think piano would be better than anything. Yeah, keyboard, piano.
Piano, keyboard is definitely another one of those popular instruments. I mean, I think of Elton John. For some reason, Elton John, he didn't know too much about words, but he certainly knew his music. And then Bernie gave him the ideas for lyrics, which created the songs. But absolutely, I mean, it doesn't have to be a guitar. It can be a piano. Those are probably the 2 most popular instruments for songwriters to use. Obviously, there are reasons for that, is because you can actually play chords, right? You can play chords on a piano, and you can play chords on a guitar. Some of the other instruments, maybe not so much. What's that, Matt?
Now, while you have the ability to play chords on an instrument, right? Mm-hmm. None of that stops you from being able to feel a groove and create a groove. If you're sitting, and you're kind of singing this hook over and over again, let's say at your desk, you start banging on that desk every, quarter note or whatever, you can start developing a groove, and the next thing you know, someone else is going to hear that and be like, oh, wait a minute, this would fit really cool here. So it's you still have the ability to create a nice groove, even if all you have is lyrics and your vocals. So
I've pretty well just relegated myself to playing the spoons. So you really don't need you really don't need an instrument, honestly.
Wooden spoons or
just metal spoons, man. I sit there.
Metal spoons. Okay, old school.
Yeah, like you should.
I grew up in the South. Wooden spoons gives me PTSD.
Yeah, that's why I don't play wooden spoons also. I've been beat by way too many wooden spoons, so I'm going to avoid those like the plague for the rest of my life.
All right, we're coming up with a song. Let's get back on topic here.
But ipso facto, you don't need an instrument, I don't think. I think it's more about just using the mind to come up with, because there's 8 million ways you can do it. To relegate to any instrument doesn't really make any sense. I mean, when you look at all the genres of music between pop and dance and country, I mean, how many instruments are involved in all of that? I mean, there's 8 million instruments. There's guys that sit on a synth board and just...
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's a keyboard. But here's one. Here's an interesting one. I'm going to throw this out to the community. And Derek, Matt, you and I talked about this yesterday. AI. All right. AI could be a tool that you could use to create your song. It's happening now, but I got to be honest with you, that's kind of new to me. But who was it? You, Matt, who brought it up, or was it you, Derek, who talked about?
I think I brought it up, and then Matt also had some very good, what do you want to call that, input on it.
Yeah, well, maybe
you can get AI.
Let me ask you this. Let me set the scenario here. All right, so if you're new to AI, really, it is as easy as just going to your phone and then just posing a query to the appropriate AI program, and it'll spit something out for you.
But there are pros and cons, and maybe you can kind of talk about, all right, if you've tried it and what your response was to it. Derek, you want to start with that one?
Yeah, no, the biggest thing I took from it, I mean, it's a good tool, is what I'll say. That's what it is. It's a tool that you can put into your toolbox and have something to help give you ideas. If you don't know where to start or you're not sure what to do, and you don't have anyone to ask, I can go into my ChatGPT or Grok or whatever AI you use. I can go, hey, I want to write a sad song. What are some chord progressions I could use? And it's going to spit me out like 16 different chord progressions. And then you're like, hey, I don't like those chord progressions. It'll give you more. And you can just go through it. It'll just help give you ideas. Or if you have a song and you don't have words and you're like, hey, I want to write a song about this, and this, it'll spit you out lyrics that are, there's no human touch to it, which is why I say it's a tool. But it can at least help you, point you in a direction and give you an idea of, well, that's a good idea. Yeah. Now I can add my human touch to this and give it emotion and feelings. And there's no need to feel like you're stealing anything. I mean, it's not intellectual property or anything. It was your idea, and they just take a very vague form and post it and gives you something that you can work with. Consider it a template, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. And also 12 keys, right? 12 notes in the scale. And the combinations are likely something that have been used over and over and over again. So what you're getting from AI is possibly something that's already, been thought of and created. But anything to kind of give you the tools that you need to get your process started. So, that AI is an option. It's not an option that I had when I was starting out songwriting. For me, it's kind of like I actually had a high school buddy of mine. We were going out to lunch and he goes, hey, I want to check this out. He decided to chat GPT a query and come up with a song about whatever it is that he wanted to have sung or created. And it came up with it in no time flat. I was laughing the whole way through. I'm thinking to myself, did it really just do that? Of course, it just like Derek had said, it seems so impersonal, but at least it was like, okay, I could use some of these ideas if I wanted to. But Matt, what are your thoughts on AI? As a tool?
No, I think Derek hit the nail on the head. I think it's a great tool. It can serve as a kind of an avenue for you to maybe get some inspiration or some ideas. If you're coming to the table already with something, like that something being the idea, and you can plug it in somewhere, and it helps kind of create that, motivation or that energy to kind of, oh, well, I like how that sounds, but I also like how this sounds. Use it as a tool. I always think that there's growth in going through, repetition. So if I myself am not, hammering away on the neck of the guitar trying to figure things out or making time to write, I don't feel like I'm growing. So to me, I think AI would be a nice tool. But I agree with Derek. I think it lacks that human effect. So you pull from it what you feel that you like, and then use all the cool and unique things about you to bring that to life. So
very true. And I'm going to shift the perspective a little bit to lyric writing and using like online resources. So let's continue our discussion with what tools do you have in your toolkit. Some of the tools used for songwriting, I'll be honest with you, I like using drum loops, right? It's kind of like, you know what? I don't want to have to create one. I'm just going to go ahead and take one that's out there, and I like the groove of that. I like the feel versus a metronome. It's like, no, this is not doing nothing for me. But drum loops exist out there where they're pre-canned. They sound pretty good. They inspire me to write a chord progression. So, I mean, if you're thinking of using AI to completely write the song for you, know what you're getting into. All right, it's impersonal. It's not your style. You got to modify things. The same with drum loops or a rhyming dictionary. All right, to me, it's kind of like I need to come up with a word that sounds like or sounds exactly like the word that I've thought of. So, using these resources, these technologies that are out there, anything to kind of get you inspired to write your song, get you closer to writing that song. We had a question about how does a capo change the chord progression. So capos are obviously a tool that you can use in the songwriting process as well. Derek, Matt, do you want to? Either of you want to take it a shot, Derek? How would you answer that for John? Using a capo, how does it really?
I'll stab at it. So
okay, how do you use one?
I wouldn't say it necessarily changes your chord progression. It can. It just depends on what you're trying to play, I guess. Like all it's doing is making the tone that I'm playing at higher. I mean, if I play, because right now I have it on my second, so I can play my song just at standard. So if I wanted to play it standard, instead of, I usually play half step down. So that was with the capo. Without the capo,
so
half step down, it's lower, right?
So
to get to that standard, I'd have to play a G up higher. You know what I mean? Like it just wouldn't. So it's just working your way up the fret. So if you don't have the capo, you're just going to have to play the chords different than you would and a little bit higher up the neck. So instead of playing like a standard open chord, I'm going to be playing it probably a bar chord up, higher on that second. So
yeah, and obviously it's going to not only if you take the capo off. Okay, you're going to have to play, on a C form here, and then the next is an A form up higher, and then it's a G form up higher. You got to remember all of that. And then when you apply the capo, you could just kind of stick with the open chords, the same open chords that you're comfortable with playing. Obviously, if you move the capo up the neck and you don't transpose those notes or those chords, you're going to sing higher, or you're going to sing lower as you drop the capo down. So there are a couple of different ways that capo can be used. It can affect the way that the pitch in your voice and your singing, or you could just kind of play open chords and not really change the key. And John, just so you know, we've got a deeper discussion on that in the G4V Learning Center at the Guitar Player's Toolkit. As well as the iJam series, we broke it down in a way where it's kind of like if you want to have a certain chord, if you want to stay within a certain key, you move the capo to a certain fret, and then you just play these open chords. It could be that simple, but it takes just a few minutes to just run through that. Hopefully that helps. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about some of the other tools. We talked a little bit about, storage of your ideas, like keeping track of those ideas. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you keep that notepad in an area where it's like, I want to refer to it a year from now, don't lose it. Or if you got storage on your phone or maybe on your computer. So storage is something that's really important. Does anyone use recorders? Because Ken was talking about how he's recording himself. Maybe you can tell us what you're using and, is it affordable? Is it easy? Does everyone have one? Where can you get it? Kind of a thing. Tell us a little bit about that recorder.
Yeah. So it's called Loopy 2. I don't know if you can see it. Loopy 2. It's an Android app, and it just you record and it just loops it for you. There's plenty of other. I mean, if you put Looper in the thing, you'll find it. I've also got BandLab, and that lets me do it too.
Is there a cost to that?
No, BandLab's free. You just got to watch its annoying videos or advertising. And then of course just my regular what I use just my regular recorder, just my regular voice recorder too. It doesn't have a looper on it, but if I record just what I want, then I play it on repeat. It does it too. So
you're using a looper, a recorder, and
BandLab if I need to. Yeah. It just depends on what I'm in.
Is that what that is?
Right.
Multi-track?
Yeah, multi-track. So if I want to lay the drums down on it, whatever. because I don't like the metronome either. It click, 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 click. It
does nothing to inspire.
No, it doesn't, and it kind of takes my mind off of what I'm doing too. But if it's a drum set, I kind of can follow it better. So definitely use that more.
Real good. Anyone else? Derek, you have which one do you have? Is that a Zoom?
Oh, I've got 8 billion things to just record. I've got an iPad. It just depends on what room I'm in at the time. Yeah. But I got a Zoom 1 H1N just to like keep in like my pocket or my truck or something. If I, usually I have my phone, so I typically just use my phone and I use it. Mm-hmm. But if I don't have my phone around or like I'm trying to do something new and I've got my phone occupied, I'll grab my iPad or, like there's 700 things that you can use and, notebook, even if I just have like a quick idea, I'm just like, scratch that down real quick. I've got 8 billion pieces of paper spread out across the house. I'll never remember any of where anything is. I've got 700 notes. Like if I ever need a song, if I just open my notes on my phone, probably a song in there. Because I've done this, I probably do it once a year where I forget that I use my phone as often as I do. And I'll be like, man, that's a really good idea for a song. I should probably finish that one of these years.
Yeah. And there you go. And you've kept it. That's the thing, is that you're keeping it. And does anyone use like rhyming dictionaries?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's this app that I do have for lyric writing.
Okay.
I know this isn't about lyrics, but
now we're going to tie music into lyrics, so it does. So this is
Lyric Notepad.
Yeah. Lyric Notepad.
And yeah, so it has like a thesaurus. So if you're stumped on and you want different words that rhyme with another word, it'll throw out suggestions for words that go with what you're writing and that match the rhyming scheme that you're using. And it's free too, a Lyric Notepad for Android. I don't know if it's on Apple or not, but probably.
That's pretty dope because I usually just start making words up. Like I do a 20-minute deal where I'll be like, I want to rhyme rank, and I'll be like rank, bank, sank, tank. Yeah, guys, got to start going through the alphabet, and it's just like alphabet soup for 20 minutes. So I'm like, man, those are working, man.
Does anyone have a Scrabble board? Here, I'll just move the letters around.
Yeah, I just try not to go to the Bible when I'm trying to write like rhymes because like the Psalms didn't exactly rhyme very well a lot of the time. So as inspiring as it is, I usually can't find a rhyme I need when I need it.
All right, yeah, really good.
Well, Lyric Notepad, man, it helped. It saved me a lot. So yeah, I like it, and it keeps like whenever you're writing, it keeps everything kind of color coded. With the rhymes, so even inside the line, so it's a really good tool for lyric writing. I really enjoy it.
I usually just end up Googling it, and then there's I think Rhyme Zone or something like that. It'll give you like single syllable, double syllable, triple syllable, etc. Ways of rhyming and
let me just pose the scenario. You're in the songwriting process. You're putting a melody to your lyrics. And then all of a sudden, it's not working. The prosody isn't there. It doesn't feel natural. So you got to change either the melody or you got to change the lyrics. So when you come into like, all right, I can't change the melody because I like how that comes across. Then it comes down to, all right, what word or words am I going to change? And that's, where these resources actually are helpful. To create a lyric, something that sounds like or rhymes exactly like, or another phrase that can be used.
It gives you the same. It keeps you on track with what your thought process is and what you're writing about, but it gives you completely different words and rhyming schemes to kind of match any type of melody structure. So
very good. Yeah. All right, what are we missing in the way of maybe other tools? We talked about a capo. We talked about the drum loops, metronome, recorders, rhyming dictionaries, online resources, storage for your ideas. Anything else? Can anyone suggest anything else that should be in a toolkit for songwriters?
A love of reading. The more you read, the more you consume. The more you have available in your brain to pull from.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's helped me a lot is just consuming, knowledge that way, and knowing a lot of literature and things like that. So whenever I go to write, that's why the lyrics come so easily to me. My brain's got a big bank of useless words
or
and phrases,
valuable words.
Yeah,
valuable words to draw from, for sure. What about music? Does anyone out there listen to other songs or other artists to pull inspiration from?
I think the best thing that you can do is just use your resources and the people around you and always draw from them. Always be willing to learn and just listen to somebody else's input. I mean, that's the biggest thing I've learned over the years. I wouldn't ever be anywhere close to where I'm at if I wasn't willing to just ask questions and be open-minded and hearing, because I've sat there a million times and I'm like, hey, I've kind of got an idea. What could I do with it? And they're like, what if you did this? What if we added that? And I'm like, that's a great idea. And then I hear them do it. I'm like, oh, I love that. Like, that's perfect. And just having the open-mindedness to say, yeah, what do you got? Because the people around you are going to be the best resources and tools that you have, in my opinion. I mean, I've asked you a million times. I go to Matt with things. I go to my buddy Jeremy, BJ. Like, I am never afraid to ask questions.
It's not a lonely journey, I'm finding. It's like the more the merrier in a lot of ways. And there are times where it's kind of like, no, I want to write this by myself. But it really depends on the situation, right? I'll tell you, going back to the song that I shared with you earlier, everyone, that was like, I want to do this by myself because it's just too personal. It's about, my daughter, and it's like no one else really knows. I can ask my wife, but this is my perspective. So and Derek, you had shared something with me. It's like with your song Lighthouse, it's like this is personal to him in a lot of ways, and you're going to find that, most of the songs that you're going to write, it's like mine, but there are times where it's like, no, I would really like to get the input of others, and that's the part of the fun as well too. But you're the songwriter, so you're in control. I want to ask one more question, and Matt, I want to cue you up for maybe getting a song of yours out there to share with everyone. We can talk a little bit about putting the music to those lyrics, but here's the question that I want to ask both Derek and Matt, and you can answer it now or you can answer it later. Is there a secret to creating music to fit lyrics? Wait, hang on. I got something for you guys.
Perfect. Yes.
Just wondering. That's all. Okay. All right.
So that question is it's one that you kind of hear.
How dare you ask me, Tom? How dare you ask me?
Is there a secret? And if there is, why haven't you told anyone?
Oh.
The thing is like, I'm not sure there really is a secret way to do it. I just use resources. I'll call Derek, I'll call Shannon, I'll send clips of me playing the guitar. Like, what do you think of this groove? And they're like, well, may need this. I just kind of. Nothing short of just saying like you got to work at it. But those resources are invaluable resources. At the end of this session, I'll put my email in the chat box, and if you want to send me something, I'll be a resource. Okay, don't think that these guys, they don't have time. I have time. I'll make time, right? So and that's me. Don't worry about me.
He's helping me right now. He's being honest. He's telling the truth. Great
honest feedback. So I'll be a resource, but just utilize those resources. I can't tell you how good it is to send something to, like Derek, be like, Derek, listen to this. This is something I was working on. And Derek, he all he does is feed me compliments, and it's hard to take, So it's like, I don't know if he's serious.
That's what makes it fun, though, isn't it?
I'm always serious, and if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you. But the thing with music is it's so open. It's open to interpretation, and like you said, there really is no secret. It's hard work ethic and just continuing after it, being consistent, and always trying. If there was a secret out there, everyone would be a songwriter and a musician.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? It's just not easy. There's work involved.
You try. It's trial and error, and you keep after it. And like Matt said, same thing goes for me. I'll put my email in the chat, and I'm always a resource if you have any questions or if you need anything. I'm always here. I have nothing better to do with my free time. Honestly, if I'm not doing music, I'm pretty bored.
The life of a songwriter, I'll tell you. All right. Thanks, gents. Thank you very much. All right. So listen, Matt, why don't you go ahead? Do you have song lyrics that you could read first, and then play it for us, or if you're able to do that, kind of, set the stage. It's kind of like, here's where we're at with we've written lyrics, or many of us have written lyrics. What does it sound like before you put music to it, and then when you put music to it, what does it feel and sound like? I don't know if you've got that, or maybe you can.
Well, I know I just wrote one called Jack and Jill, but before I wrote it, all I have were the lyrics. And what I wanted to do, kind of setting the scene, is I've been on a couple podcasts, and one of the things that I like to tell people is that everyone loves a really pretty picture, but that picture doesn't happen if the painter doesn't approach the canvas. So making time to work on your skills, it's important. And when I was thinking about that, I thought of, what if I was standing in front of a canvas painting a picture? What would I want it to look like, And so I started thinking like Bob Ross. Well, I'd put an old beat up oak tree right here on top of a hill. And that's how my song started, with just that thought of that picture. And so the song starts out, it says the first verse is, there's an old beat up oak tree that sits on top of a hill, and carved into the side are the names Jack and Jill. Now that old beat up oak tree tells a story we all know well, about a time not so long ago when you and I were on that hill. And then it goes into the chorus. It says, take me back to those, and it's those times now. Take me back to those days that I remember, and those nights I can't forget. Take me back to the changes in September, and those leaves blowing gently in the wind. Take me back to the cold and bitter winter, when we danced under those glowing northern lights. Take me back, take me back, take me back. Lord, take me back. Right? So I'm just painting a picture now, really what I'm trying to do. The second verse draws attention to something else in the painting. There's a softly flowing creek behind the trees outside our home. Well, there's coffee in the kitchen, breakfast is on the stove. And just beyond that creek, there's a place we love to go. It sits on top of a hill under an old beat up oak. And it comes right back to the chorus to take me back, those days that I remember, and those nights I can't forget. Take me back to the changes in September, and those leaves blowing gently in the wind. Take me back to the cold and bitter winter, when we danced under those glowing northern lights. Take me back, take me back, take me back. Oh Lord, take me back. And then I close the song out with drawing out time in this picture. Like, there's... Hold on.
The hour.
I just gotta...
God.
Telemarketer.
I'm sure it was. That was your big break right there. That was Nashville. They were listening in.
I don't know where my screen went. Where's it at?
It was the
Here it is.
NSA.
Yeah.
Listening in, they're like, we need this guy now.
We've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty.
Oh, you too, man.
But, sorry, I don't mean to babble on.
Oh boy.
But then I try to draw depth out of the rest of the picture. Like, okay, I'm approaching the end now. This needs to be a completed thing. So I thought of that completed picture that kind of paints the story of time. And so I close it with Jasmine clings to the breeze as it dances through our home, past graduation photos and that trip down Bourbon Road. And it says, by the front door, there's 2 baseball gloves that sit up on a shelf. Oh, I'd love to hear the stories that those things could tell. Just to kind of paint a picture of a dad and his son out in the front, throwing the ball back and forth, just talking about life. And then at the end, it says, there's an old beat up oak tree that sits on top of a hill, and carved into the side, Grandpa Jack, Grandma Jill.
Wow, what a story! For one, I mean, I'm intrigued.
Almost got a little choked up there.
As it should be,
Matt.
Well, here's the deal.
I'm choked up. I'm already trying not to cry.
I'll say that was beautifully recited and written, and it's kind of like just alone with no music. It's like I'm already drawn in.
Yeah, I shot all that from the hip. I wasn't thinking about this for days and days and days. Like, how am I going to tell them?
The moment of clarity hits you as you're telling us right now. A good thing we recorded it. I'll send you for a modest fee.
Yeah, for a modest fee. So 10% is customary, Tom.
So next step obviously is music. So what's the next step, or what was the next step, or what is the next step for you for the music?
I didn't know how where I wanted to play it. Like, I didn't have a chord progression set aside yet. So what I did, maybe it's cheating, I don't know. I grabbed my tuner and I sang it how I thought I was going to sound, and it came up with a C. So I was like, okay, we're playing in C. And so I just started in C.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's not cheating. That's add tuner to your toolkit. Yeah. All right.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like, I don't know what key I'm saying. Well, how would you know if your guitar is in perfect tune and it isn't always perfectly in tune, and you're singing to it? It's kind of like it's in between, F sharp and G. It's kind of like, well, what's the right key?
Yeah.
The tuner will help you with that for sure. That's brilliant. Yeah. It's kind of when I get lost on the fretboard, and it's kind of like, oh gosh, I don't want to figure this out. Just turn on the tuner, hit the note. Oh, okay, A flat.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone in the Army say. I'm going to just say that.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm going to mark it on the calendar.
Oh geez. Yeah, good thing that we are going to record this and make it known to everyone.
Yeah, on this day.
Do you want to play some of that for us, just to give us a sense?
I can play through I'll play through the verse and the chorus.
Play through some of that for us, and then, because that'll help us understand what you did musically to the lyrics that you created.
Okay,
I'm going to need you to play through the whole thing so I can record this and then steal the song.
Oh, okay, all right. So fast forward. Let's see. So I started in C, right? So. An old beat up oak tree that sits on top of a hill, and carved into the side are the names Jack and Jill. Now that old beat up oak tree tells a story we all know well, about a time not so long ago when you and I were on that hill. Take me back to the days that I remember, and those nights that I never will forget. Take me back to the changes in September, and those leaves blowing gently in the wind. Take me back to the cold and bitter winter, when we danced under those glowing northern lights. Take me back, take me back, take me back. Won't you take me back? Yeah, something like that.
Oh, very cool. All right, applause, everyone.
Boo!
I think I have a button for that. Hold on.
Oh gosh, wait a minute. Oh, you're right. I do too. Wait a second. I got it right here. Wait, is it this one?
Oh man.
Obviously not that one. That was a voice. That was really great, my friend. So you chose the key of C, right? The key of C, is it because it was the range of your vocals, or
it's
is it because
just where I started singing? So there's a note,
okay,
and it hit the C note, and I was like, okay, that's where I'm starting. So
and then you told us the chords. It's all in the C family. I mean, if you take a look at the chord family chart,
C, G, F. I need a minor.
F and an A minor. A couple of other chords that could be used in the C major family would be a D minor and E minor. So just for those of you who are like, wanting to know.
And I tried those. They didn't fit.
Yeah. So let's do an exercise real quick. Everyone grab their guitar. Everyone go on mute. And what I'm going to do is, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the C chord family. Let me share the screen here. And share. And let's take a look. Let's just zoom into this. Can everyone see this chord chart? So you've got a C, and you've got the D minor and the E minor, and you've got the F, G, A minor. Don't even worry about the B diminished right now. We'll get to that as you progress along in your songwriting. But right now, here's what I'd like everyone to do. To pick 2 major chords. Just pick 2 major chords, all right? And I'll pick it. I can pick F and G. So I'm just going to play the bar chord F and then G. And what I want you to do is just play back and forth. Play them back and forth. You play your 2 back and forth. And then, is it evoking emotion? I mean, is there something there that is kind of like, that sounds pretty cool? Or I'll do a C and a G. C and a G. Just strum. And this is kind of like the songwriting process that Matt's talking about. And then, Derek as well, too. We just sit here and we strum. We try and get some type of emotion out of it. And then, let's try this. Let's try a major and a minor chord now. Try a major, C, and a D minor. And just strum back and forth. We did a G and an E minor. G and an E minor. Just pick 2. Does it evoke an emotion? Does it inspire you to think of a memory that you can build upon those 2 chords? This is kind of how it works. This is the musical piece of the songwriting that we're talking about. Just pick up and strum. All right. Does anyone have one that they want to share right now? Their experience. Just go ahead and open your mic and tell us what what this exercise is doing for you. Is it confusing you? Is it not doing anything for you? Or is it something like, what I never really thought about, just sitting here and playing 2 chords? Anyone that would like to go ahead and share what it is that they're saying, they're experiencing. Matt, go ahead.
I just want to kind of add, it's a really unique exercise because you can just start chopping on the strings, just getting a groove for it. And let's say you choose A minor and you choose a C. Well, play through that A minor and that C and just kind of, lift a finger, and see how that changes the sound of that A minor.
Demonstrate for us. Go ahead and demonstrate
something
that.
Something kind of like...
so you're doing an A minor and a C.
Yeah, so if I'm doing like a...
That's another technique. Sure. Lifting that finger. You don't have to just
really mess with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, all right, we could play the A minor, and we can lift a finger, any of the fingers. Just 2 chords, right? Oh, that sounds like Neil Young to me. I mean, it sounds like something Neil Young would write. And that puts me into a mindset of like life back for me in the 70s, growing up to that type of music. What does it trigger in the way of, memories and emotions? But this is an exercise that everyone should give a try. Just pick up your guitar just for 5 minutes, couple chords, 3 chords, major chords, minor chords, major and minor chords. So let's try this. Let's try 2 more chords. Let's try a major chord and a minor chord. So I'll pick C and E minor. So, and I'm just strumming through it. Happy and sad kind of a thing. But try that for a minute here. And And then the takeaway from this is, maybe it's even a homework assignment. I'd like everyone to just pick 2 chords and experiment with them. They could be 2 major chords. They could be a major minor chord, 2 minor chords, and then come back next week and tell us what your experience with that was. Okay. So, yeah, I want you to volunteer and show us, the instructors and the songwriters panel, what you learned from that. Now let's talk about the rhythm and groove piece. And Matt was showing this, but Derek, I'm going to come to you here because take a minute to tell us one of your songs. All right, tell us about one of your songs. Maybe you can talk through the lyrics, read the lyrics if you like, and then give us a demonstration of what you've done musically to bring that song to life.
So it's always just a lot of. I usually just kind of play whatever's on my mind at the time. So when you sit there and say the 2 chord thing, it's a great. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like therapy for me. So I'll sit there and just, like you were doing this, you said pull 2 chords. So it's like just do an F and then I'll sit there, I'll just do that, and then I'll just sing whatever's on my mind and try to just come up with something off that. But I do a lot of that. So when I write music, it's usually, it depends on the time. A lot of time, I like to have like a moods. I already have a mood and what I want to write, the rough idea of it. So I'd written a song a while back. It was just it's kind of just about looking back on how life changes and we don't always get what we want. And so I'd start writing, and it's along the lines of looking back. I was so young, thinking life would always go my way, and now I'm older, a little bolder, learning all life's takeaways. Well, I wasted 10 long years because I was running, tried to hide from all my fears. And then I came across your face. Now I'm gunning, trying to be around your grace. And I'm just trying to look back, and I kind of just try to look back the lessons that I learned in life and what I've tried to take away from it. And, it's one of the songs that I'm still working on for sure. But so I get the words, and I went into it having kind of a chord progression that I knew I could make work because it was something I wanted to build up. And every song I write, I want to at least build up to a climax and have that little bit. So I'll just go through the first part and up to the chorus.
Cool. Intriguing story already, even before the music.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was one of the songs I wrote, and I kind of went into this one writing it like I was trying to write a story as opposed to writing a song.
And the other thing, too, that is worth noting, and even in Matt's story as well, too, which is making it relatable, right? And I'll tell you right now, I mean, there are times where I look back on my youth and as a dad now, and now, getting older. So I look forward to hearing your song, Derek.
I'll play through the first chorus here. And
okay.
I haven't played it in a while, so we'll see. Looking back. Oh, yeah, I play this on a capo. I should do that.
And you're doing this because?
This song I wrote a little bit higher vocally. So
okay. All right, cool.
Looking back, I was so young, I was thinking life would always go my way. Now I'm older, a little bolder, learning all life's takeaways. Well, I wasted 10 long years, I was running, trying to hide from all my fears. Then I came across your face, now I'm gunning, trying to be around your grace. Well, guess my timing's never right, and I will have to fight to find my way to you. It seems my chance come and go, and do not belong to the woman of my dreams. I won't let you get away, even if I have to stay in the background from now on. 'Cause I have waited for so long, so say it in this song, I'll always love you. Something along those lines, but
oh man,
I haven't
tasty.
played that one in a minute. But that actually I just opened the book when you started class, and I was
there you go, man. Hey, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Now let's talk about the chords. Is that the key is C or A minor? Is that what that is?
A minor, C, G, and then I kind of do a thing. So it depends on the song, but I always end up in that. I like my Fs, so I always do kind of a modified F.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
I would say probably
it's
F
a it's not a real popular chord, right?
Yeah,
but when you throw it in there, it's kind of like, wow, that's different. I started to write a little tune in F, like going back between F and A minor. And I thought, no one's done this. It's painful, but
that's why I always modify it. Like for the longest time, trying to play like a traditional F.
Yeah,
pain in my butt because my hand would get tired from doing the bar chords.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So
and then you cheat with the capo.
Just kind of like I just do a like. I think it's like a diminished or a 7 or something, but
yeah, and that speaks to like you can definitely use open chords. People do it, songwriters do it all the time. But when you can find these really pretty variations of those chords, definitely a tool that you want to keep in your toolbox. But here's what I want to know. Now, Derek was showing us, he was finger picking and he was strumming, and this leads us right into rhythm and groove. All right. And I want to let everyone know, let me just share my screen real quick here. If you're trying to figure out, I don't know what that means, Tom. What's rhythm and groove? Well, we taught you in your lessons, if you're a G4V graduate or if you've taken the ITAG Intro to Acoustic Guitar, we've introduced you to strumming patterns. Right, so the strumming patterns kind of give the song drive. It moves it forward. It keeps it interesting, and grooving is really what that is. So take a look at the different strumming patterns that you're going to find in either the Guitar Player's Toolkit, which Paul Lilly has posted on the G4V Learning Center. But here's what I want everyone to do right now before we call it quits here. Just, even if it's just, picking two chords, pick two chords. I'll pick D and A. And then just strum. Come up with something. Two open chords. Try finger picking. Rock it out. I mean, there's some ideas just simply with the strumming pattern, or if you decide you want to use finger style. But do that right now, just to get a feel for this improvisational style. And does it bring forth some type of response, emotional response? It's like, gosh, I got to say, this is along with Derek, who does this for his own, just moments of peace and just relaxation. This is my morning routine with a cup of coffee. It's like I seem to be able to think of these progressions or these transitions or, beats first thing in the morning, because by the end of the day, it's kind of like, oh, I'm too tired. So that's my time of the day. Try those different strumming patterns, the different techniques, the country. where that takes you. Maybe it'll trigger a memory. Maybe it'll inspire you to take something that you've written already and using that particular style. But it all starts with picking a couple chords, finding a strumming pattern, giving it a try. And then just like what what John had said earlier, I've tried so many different chords, and I've tried so many different strumming patterns. I've even tried with the capo. That's what it's going to take. And then at some point, maybe you'll find the right combination. All right. Does anyone have? Yeah,
I have something.
Yeah.
So I heard something on a podcast the other day. Ray Wiley Hubbard was being interviewed, and he was talking about getting sober, and he didn't get sober till in his 40s. And that's whenever he said that everything songwriting-wise kind of opened up for him. And that he never really learned how to play real well on the guitar. And then, so after he got sober, he started picking up and learning how to fingerstyle. And he said that opened a whole new door and a whole new section to songwriting. And that everything that he learned after that, different tunings, different styles, different, picking patterns, all that new things he learned was a new door that opened up in his songwriting and opened up a whole new world when it came to writing songs.
Man, that is so true. It's like taking your toolkit and adding things to it. What you're talking about there, Ken.
Yep.
It's
expanding your tool belt like Batman has.
Yeah, and it's not like sticking to one style, because then, of course, it's kind of like you can identify those artists who are like, okay, sounds like the last song. And you know what? I mean, there's so many stories. It's like telling the same story over and over. Why not add, some variety to your storytelling, to your songwriting and all? All right. Well, listen, we are coming up on the end of our session. I wanted to, let me throw it back to Matt. Matt, is there anything you want to add in closing as a result of today's session that maybe is worth, leaving on the minds of others, these aspiring songwriters, something that maybe stuck out as something to remember, or don't forget to do this in your practice, or maybe anything from your personal experience of songwriting that you think might be of value?
I mean, I'll just kind of echo what I've said in the past. Be patient with yourself. There's beauty in this journey that you guys are on. You're gonna, keep working at it. You're gonna create these awesome pieces of writing and your guitar playing and your music and all of that. It'll come together, right? Trust the process, but be patient with yourself. It took me. I've been playing guitar for 20 years and writing and actually singing, trying to be good at it now for probably about 5 or 6. So it takes time. So definitely be patient with yourself. Get the practice in, right? It's always good to practice. Utilize your resources, including, emailing another person, or calling somebody, sharing it. It's always good to get a second opinion, especially from people who are always going to champion, those things that you're passionate about. So, just keep driving forward, keep being teachable, strive to want to learn more. So,
is there because I know we covered like chord families, you brought in chord families. Is there anything that they should focus on specific to chord families, since that sounds like it was a major influence for you?
The chord family is knowing what chords blended well with a chord, but also determining the progression is what helped me. If I know I have A as a beginning note and G is my last note before we recycle back to A, then I can kind of use A, B, C, D, E, F, G and find my 1, 3, 4 minor 5 or what, just kind of to build the song. And then when you start to get in there and really strum through and it starts feeling comfortable, then try to maybe mess with some of those accents, lift a finger here or there, put a hammer on, try a harmonic, but definitely just utilize the resources you have and don't ever cut yourself short. The journey's worth it. So
awesome. Are we going to see you next week? No, we're not going to see you next week. We're going to see you in 2 weeks. No, I'm trying to remember. You said you wanted to come back, and I've lost track.
I'll come back whenever you have me, bud.
You're always welcome, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your input, and just playing for us your music. It's not something that you do for everyone, so we really appreciate it. All right, dude. Derek, any closing thoughts on today's
nothing
session?
he didn't say. I can't really top that by any means. What I will say is this: I'm a bit of an anarchist, and the best advice I can give you is don't let tradition or how it used to be done stunt your creativity. Do it your way. Always be willing to try something new, and don't be afraid to do that. That's the biggest thing I've learned in my journey, is that just because someone says it has to be done this way doesn't mean that's how it has to be done. Be open. You don't know if it's a bad idea until you try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you gave it a shot. So be willing to take the risk, get out there, take shots, try something new, because I've done a lot of stuff that they're like, you can't do that. I did it, and people love it. So just be
Don't be you. Is really
Yeah.
the message. Don't be you. Be someone else. And Derek is true. That's very true. It's kind of like, no, this is who I am, and this is what I'm comfortable with, and it's my story.
Yeah, be yourself.
So there.
Always.
Is there any tool or technique that you think that this group might want to focus on initially, because they're all starting off? And
I think for me in that beginning learning journey is just get on the guitar, just play it. Mm-hmm. See what sounds good, see what works best for you. And I mean, because I can sit there and tell you all day, hey, you should be doing your, whatever drill you think you can think of. But if that doesn't necessarily work for you, then that doesn't work for you. So just get on it. Try a new chord. Try something new every time you get on the guitar. And just push yourself every day to do a little bit more. And if you do something more every day, you're going to get further. That's all there is to it.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been pushing that towards everyone as they go through their Guitars for Vets learning process as well. So I want to let everyone know that next week we will pick things up Saturday, June 7th, and Joe Allen Christie will be joining us. He's been on Song Sung True before, and he's recently relocated to Texas. So we're going to be hearing from him. David Welch is one of our chapter coordinators for the Salem, Oregon chapter. He's going to be joining us as well, too. He's started to get into some songwriting. I'm trying to remember. I'm so confused.
I'm good for the 14th now.
I'm kind of like the guy at the Icebox who basically says, "Oh, I think I asked you to."
Yeah, good old Jason.
Oh, God, I think I asked you about joining. So, but I know that both David and Joe Allen Christie will be here. But Matt, Derek, it's a real pleasure having you guys with us. And everyone else, I don't know if you all got a few extra minutes to stick around, but let me go ahead and sign off for Guitars for Vets. I'm Tom Lamog, and we will see you at the next Songwriters Bootcamp a week from today. Take care, and thanks for joining us.